Awesome. Episode 113. I've got two beautiful human beings in the studio right now. I've got Paula from Junior Achievement. I've got Maria. Maria's been on the show before. All about healthy lifestyles, making the best version of you possible. Maria's going to be co-hosting. Maria Saia is going to be co-hosting, and then second half of the show, she's going to be talking about developing good habits. Good habits. How to have a good relationship with you. Because you can't have a good relationship with anybody else if you don't have a good relationship with you. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about such habits like not smoking cigars. This is day 3 for me, Chuck. It is not.
That's not easy for you, Franz.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny when you have a bad habit, an addiction, dare I say. There's a ritual that goes along with that bad habit. Like I go to the cigar shop, I sit and I socialize and I do these things, and I find myself, even though I know I'm not smoking cigars right now, I find myself driving towards the cigar shop, and I'm like, what am I doing? I can't go there.
I was at Don Juan's last night.
Oh, that's a good point.
I smelled like a pack of cigars this morning.
Well, I will tell you, one thing I'm not missing from smoking cigars is I am not missing smelling like cigars, because I don't care who you are, no matter how much you love cigars, and I love cigars, they stink.
Yeah.
They stink bad.
It was like walking into a fog bank in that place last night. It was just like smoke.
Hold on one second. Junior Achievement.
Get that mic closer to you if you can, please. Like you can pull it in. There you go.
That good?
Perfect. Yeah.
Eating your money.
I know.
Yes, that is me.
You
right.
Paula?
I'm Paula.
So you're coming on Jay's show Monday?
Yes.
Okay. We'll have you at 5:15.
Early.
4:15. I'm sorry, 4:15.
4:50?
Yeah.
Talbot Dawson.
Because it was supposed to be today, but then Jay informed me that he wasn't going to be here today because he had a private dinner. So it should be 4:15. Double check that and see.
I like private.
On mine, it says 5:45.
Oh, yeah, do 4:15 because 5:45 is like the end of the show. So we'd rather have you on at the beginning at 4:15.
Perfect.
We're going to be starting off a little early. It's a big weekend.
Yeah.
Got Garth Brooks. Got, like, some fairs. We'll talk about the fairs. Got some me time, some solitude. All right, welcome to the Geaux Rouge radio show. If you're listening on Talk 107.3 or you're watching on YouTube on the Geaux Rouge channel, good afternoon. Depending on when you're watching this, it may be late afternoon, early evening, or maybe even earlier in the afternoon. But welcome. Welcome to the show. We record on Fridays, and, you know, weeks like this when there's softball and stuff going on, we get the proverbial boot, and that's okay. Everyone should be booted every once in a while. It's a good exercise in humility, Chuck.
Jay's show got booted last Friday. We had a 3-segment show, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Chuck P's on Master Control this week. This is a big week in Baton Rouge. This is a big weekend. We've got fairs all over the place. We're going to talk about those. We've got the concert that everybody has been waiting on, the Garth Brooks concert. We've got some other stuff we're going to chat about, but bigger than that, we've got Junior Achievement of Greater Baton Rouge in-house. We've got Paula in from Junior Achievement. We're going to be introducing her in a little bit. She's going to be talking about a crawfish competition, Crawfish King competition, a great charity event that's going to support Junior Achievement. And who else? The Boys and Girls Club?
Big Buddy.
Big Buddy. I
Yes,
get those
our
mixed out
partners
sometime.
No, they're amazing.
Kids. It's supporting
Kids.
kids.
It's kids, Franz.
It's been a long
Do it for
day.
the kids.
It's been a long day. Our special guest host this week, special guest co-host. We've been doing that.
I like that. That's good for you, Franz.
I need to have
someone to keep you in check.
Yeah, Maria will definitely do that. Maria Saia is on the show this week. She's going to be a special guest host, and then I'm giving her the second half of the show to talk about healthy habit development. Say that 3 times faster. Healthy habit development. I've been on a life journey, spiritual, emotional, physical, and I want to dig in a little bit. And Maria's one of my go-to health coaches to help me do that. But before we do all that, Chuck, we're going to thank our show sponsors. These are the folks that make the Geaux Rouge show possible. First and foremost, Dr. G, Dr. Gunja Reyna with MD VIP Healed 360, www.drreyna.com. She is my concierge medical doctor. I call her whether I stop my toe, whether I lose 100 pounds. She gets the credit for all of it.
Stub your toe, really?
Stump your toe. No, I don't do that. The only time I've ever contacted her for personal injury was I slipped in the bathtub and landed on my rib cage.
Ouch.
And I thought I was going to die. And she goes, "No, you bruised him."
Yeah.
And I go, "Well, what do I do? Is it like emergency
Nothing.
surgery?" And she goes, "Nothing. I just saved you a 3-hour trip to the emergency room. You're
Yeah.
welcome." So, Dr. G, she can be your concierge medical doctor. www.drreyna.com. Tell her that I sent you. La Divina Italian Cafe, serving select wines, ice cold beer, plus their exclusive sorbet mimosa. One of my favorite restaurants in Baton Rouge. It can be one of your favorite restaurants as well. Great spot to have brunch too, by the way. That is a Baton Rouge secret. It shouldn't be a secret, but a great spot to have brunch in Baton Rouge. And I know a little bit about brunch in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, a thing or two.
I know a little thing about Baton Rouge brunches. Baton Rouge brunches, La Divina, give them a try. Tell them that I sent you. Last but not least, the Borkart Law Firm. One of the finest criminal defense firms in the multiverse. If you committed a felony and go there, tell them I sent you. Wait a minute, that's me. So, yeah, that is my lemonade
Is
stand.
that your variant?
That is my variant.
Okay.
Can you imagine a multiverse of Franz?
That's scary. That's very scary.
I'm uncomfortable with that. So when I'm not doing law, today, for example, I was doing legal commentary on WAFB about
Lane Hardy?
Lane Hardy. I was doing it about Lane Hardy. And,
Lane.
And then I was on Court TV talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. When I'm not doing all that stuff and I'm not doing the Geaux Rouge show celebrating the best things in Baton Rouge, I practice a whole bunch of law. And I'm pretty...
That's the rumor on the street.
I'm no slouch when it comes to criminal defense. So if I can toot my own trumpet. So that being said, Borkart Law Firm, check us out, www.borkartlawfirm.com. Okay, enough about me. It's all about me. Enough about me. I've got in studio Maria Saia, and I've got as special co-host, and I've got one of our favorite guests. We've had you on the show before, Paula, and we've had your people on the show, right? Junior Achievement. You're here to talk about some crawfish.
Crawfish King Cook-Off.
Okay, so we're in that season, right? We're starting to have food competitions again. By the way, hashtag Wingamania is coming. Crawfish King Cook-Off. That we'll talk about it later. So I had the pleasure of judging this magnificent event last year, and it was amazing. Last year it was at Blue Cross Blue Shield, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, giant crawfish competition, multiple competitors. Tell us about it. Walk it through. I buy the ticket. What happens?
All right. So when you buy the ticket, you can buy the tickets in advance for $20 at the gate, $25, and kids are $10 for 10 and under.
Okay.
And then you come in and you get to enjoy all the crawfish that you want to eat and try from all the different teams. This year, we've got a sold-out event as far as team participation. So over 34 teams are competing for that paddle, to be the Crawfish King. So it's going to be really exciting.
Okay. So when is it? Where is it? How do I get the tickets?
All right. So it's May 6th. So not this weekend, but the following.
Next week.
Yeah.
Right?
So when you're done with all the fairs and all the Garth Brooks and you're ready for a good time with some good music and good crawfish. So it's Friday, May 6th. And you'll just come on out there. We're in partnership with Live After 5. So we're downtown.
You're downtown again, right?
Exactly. And the exciting thing about that is that Chris LeBlanc band is going to be playing at Live After 5. And so it'll be a great partnership where he's got the music and Live After 5 is doing a great job there, and we've got the great food.
And so we're clear, this is a charity event where the proceeds benefit who?
It is. So the proceeds benefit Junior Achievement and our partners, Big Buddy.
Okay.
Both organizations, as you said earlier, we're focused on mentoring students and kids and making sure that we're providing the essential skills that they need so that when they grow up, they're able to make good decisions and be good parts of our community.
So while I do occasionally represent juvenile delinquents, or kids accused of being juvenile delinquents, I have often said over and over and over again, man, if we can help these kids out earlier, give them some tools. And by the way, that's what Junior Achievement does, right? It gives kids tools, right?
Absolutely. You've been in the classroom. You volunteered
Yes.
for Junior Achievement, had a lot to do with us. But, what we do is we're focused, our mission is to focus on inspiring youth to prepare them for the future, focusing on financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship. And, we all know that those are things, whether you go to trade school, you go to high school, you go to college, when you get out into the real world, you're going to need to be able to have that skill set to be a positive member of our society.
So let's say Chuck decides, and look, Chuck, you're allergic to crawfish, so you're not going to be eating crawfish, right?
No,
do it.
I have a shellfish. I mean, I've eaten crawfish over the years, but I stay away from
Let's
it.
say that Chuck wanted to roll the dice about anaphylactic shock.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Test the
so-
water,
Not at
see
our
what
event.
happens.
Okay, well, let's say Maria wanted to go and get a ticket to go to this. What does her ticket get her?
So she comes in, it's all you can eat crawfish while supplies last.
For $20?
$20
That's
in
pretty
advance,
cool.
25 at the gate. And the great thing is we're boiling over 10,000 pounds of crawfish that day. So there's going to be plenty. We
Okay.
got lots. Thousands of people typically join us. There should be thousands that are at Live After 5. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
So what does it take to put something like this on? So and I ask that because I've put on smaller scale food events. Wingamania is coming. That's Chicken Wing Festival. It's one of the best ones. I don't want to tangentially go down this road.
It is your best event. The
Thank
mac
you.
and cheese event was good. But
that'd
I
be
think
fun. That would be
Wingamania
fun.
was-
We'll talk about it. So what does it take to put on an event like this? How do you get 10,000 pounds of crawfish?
So, we work with a lot of the vendors. We have great support to the two organizations that work together. We have partnerships with the mayor's office, working with the Seafood Association, with Live After 5. So there's all of us that come together. The city works with us greatly to make sure that we have everything we need. And I mean, it does. It takes a lot of planning. It's a good over half a year to plan this event. And every penny that's raised, the proceeds go to benefit these organizations.
Well, it stays here, right?
It does.
Okay.
And, I wanted to mention, with Big Buddy, the reason why it's such a beautiful partnership is because we are both focused on raising the kids up and making sure that they have mentors to follow so that they can do great things. And their mission is to build a community of mentorship relationships that advance and inspire youth to create meaningful change. So great stuff.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? I have young kids. I'd love to know at what age are y'all beginning to work with them? Will there be resources there that'll tell us all about that as well?
Thank you. Yes, both organizations work with kids, usually K through 12. Big Buddy makes a tremendous impact with thousands of students that they're mentoring each year. And they have great programs. One in particular that I love is their Day of Mentorship, where people just like, Franz, you sign up with Big Buddy and you're assigned to a child for the day. And you can actually bring them to work with you, and they can get exposed to the work environment, learn from you.
I need mentees
Yes.
in my life. I need little Franzies, if
Yes,
you will,
little
running
Franz.
around the law office.
Yeah.
He is.
Well,
one.
you
Another scary thought.
Well, you laugh about that, but candidly, I love what I do for a living, and I really do like talking to, because the number one question I get asked, ladies and Chuck, is how do you do what you do for a living? I mean, what's it like representing people accused of crime and all this stuff? And I like educating people about the Constitution and what that means and how we have all these rights, and it's special to me. It's near and dear to me. So, okay, good
Yeah.
question.
And-
So, if I want to get tickets one more time, where do I go?
www.crawfishkingcookoff.com is where you can get the tickets. And also, you mentioned about how much it takes to put on an event like this. We are also looking for volunteers to volunteer
Now we're talking.
the day of and also the day before. And there's different shifts. So on that same website, you can pick the shift that you want. Come out and help two amazing organizations to prepare and give everyone a great experience. So we're ready to make it happen.
So, I want to deep dive into junior achievement and Big Buddy for a second because that's why you're doing this event, right?
Absolutely.
Junior achievement. Walk us through it, and I feel silly asking you this because you've been on before and we've talked about it before, but I really want to deep dive into what is junior achievement.
Absolutely. So, I shared what our mission is, but in particular, our programs that we're working with those K through 12 students, both organizations use mentors that teach. The important thing with junior achievement in the programs is that everything we do is tied into the state standards for educators. So it fits nicely in what they're trying to teach in school. We have programs like Finance Park where these students go through curriculum learning about what's a credit score, what's, a mortgage versus renting, what's renting a car and buying, leasing, all of the different aspects of the bills they're going to pay as an adult. And then they go through a day of simulation and become an adult for the day. When they show up, they find out who they are, if they're married, single, what their credit score is, how many kids they have. And when they have to pick their mode of transportation for themselves and their husband, they can't get that, Porsche and put their husband on, public transportation. So they're making tough decisions
You
for that
haven't met my
day.
ex-wife, have you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
my God.
I forgot the mic was on. I'm sorry. My bad.
Uh-oh.
Just so everybody who's listening, this is a safe place.
Yeah.
This is a safe place. Well, it's funny you say that because, not what Chuck said, Paula, but what you said. It's funny you say that because I was having lunch with one of my good friends the other day, and he was talking about his 2 adult daughters starting to pay their own car insurance.
Right. Yeah.
And they're in their 20s. And I'm not going to loud cap them because, look, I was on the teat of my parents until I could not be. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, man, is that their reality? And then I thought, I was like, because he was trying to teach them responsibility, financial responsibility
Right.
in their 20s. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have learned that. I wish I would have learned about checking and debit cards and credit card stuff and all that stuff when I was little.
Absolutely.
The ability to charge a whole bunch on a credit card
Yeah, that free
can affect your credit. What is
that
your
free-
credit score?
Yeah.
the free credit card, the free T-shirt for the credit card is not a good deal.
No.
Right.
Run away
as-
from that.
As parents, I try and instill that with my kids, but they can tune out my voice very easily. So
Absolutely.
to have someone else teach them those things, right, and spend the time with them to do that, that's awesome.
And think about it. When you got your first job, did you have a page stub to look at to
What
know
the-
what your taxes
do you
are? We
remember-
typically
I know,
did.
that was so long
Do
ago.
you remember that when you got pay stubs?
Oh,
and
yeah.
checks?
But
Yeah.
now they don't even know that they're paying taxes because they never see their pay stubs. They come electronically. So if you
Wow.
ask a child, that's new in the workworce, they don't think they're paying taxes.
Well, I will say this
Most of them.
as the owner of the Borchardt Law Firm who
You're
pays
paying some
himself
tax.
some it hurts. Anyways, go
I do
ahead.
have a question. So my kids, how do I lure them there? What can you tell me is going to be there that I can?
Yeah, walk us through the gingerbread
Bring 'em
path.
in.
So
Yeah.
both organizations were Greater Baton Rouge. And so our organizations work with the schools. In particular, Junior Achievement has a partnership with the EBR school system where we are serving every single elementary school student K through 5. And then they go to, in 7th grade, they're going to go through Finance Park, which is that budgeting curriculum. And then later on, so it's sequential learning. So you as a parent can't necessarily get them involved, but know that Big Buddy and Junior Achievement are working with educators to make sure that we're partnering.
What if I'm an adult and I need some life lessons and maybe some mentorship? Is that
So there are some organizations that work, and
with adults?
yes, they do work with adults, but
Licensed therapists.
right. Both of our organizations, our wheelhouse is in that youth, so that we can make that positive change before they get out.
One of my favorite ways of giving back, and I'm not joking when I say this, because I know it's hard to distinguish when I'm being serious and when I'm joking. This is one of those. This is an instance of sincerity. I like mentoring. Yeah. I like taking someone and helping shape not who they are going to become, but give them accessibilities to make decisions that are good decisions. And I like showing them my crazy world because, man, oh, man, is it even at 43 years old, I have mentors. True story.
Absolutely.
Maria's a health coach. She's got people she mentors or coaches. I don't know if there's a difference between mentoring and coaching, but I feel like they're in the same family.
Yep. Yeah.
If you're just now tuning into the Geaux Rouge Show, we're talking to the folks, Miss Paula from Junior Achievement, and she has been talking to us about the Crawfish King Cook-Off, which is going to be happening next week. Paula, tell us one more time. How do I get tickets? Where is it going to be? All that. Give it to me.
Absolutely. So you're going to join us May 6th. We're right behind Live After 5 downtown. Tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the gate, $10 for kids, and you can get them at www.crawfishkingcookoff.com.
I got to tell you, as someone who's put on some events, such events like, Wingamania, Cap City Mac and Cheese Fest, the burger events, one of the difficult things I have, Chuck, is pricing these events. Like, what is the magic spot of what the price of this ticket should be? Should it be all you can eat? You get a fixed serving. $20 for crawfish, all you can eat crawfish while supplies are available. Fair fair price. Very fair price.
It
and then if
is.
you're a kid, how much is the tickets for kids?
$10. And, we keep that price lower like that because of sponsors like BASF that has supported us throughout the year. So those sponsorships, just really help bring a lively, fun event that's supporting these amazing organizations.
Look, I'm just going to go here for a second. As someone who's thrown these events, like the burger events, you get emails from people, hey, I'm vegan. Is there going to be something for me? Or mac and cheese. I'm gluten.
I can't have gluten.
I can't have gluten. So, is there going to be like a non-gluten option? And you're just like, no, it's just a beautiful crawfish event. You need to come out and
That's
support
right.
it because it's going to help charity. So, look, Paula is in studio. We have special guest host this week, Maria Saia from, what is your official health coaching brand?
Optavia.
Yes, I'm excited. We're going to talk about habit shaping in our second segment. You're listening to Chuck P. and Franz This is Franz Borkhardt. Chuck P. sitting on the other side of the I guess, studio. And if you're just now tuning in, you can check not only the rest of this episode out on YouTube on the Geaux Rouge channel, but you can also go to YouTube, the Geaux Rouge channel, and check out all the episodes on demand. They're all there. Every single 113 episodes are there. And you can check them all out. I don't do a good job labeling them, Chuck, so I need to do a better job labeling them.
Just be a little bit more creative.
I need to be a little
Think
bit more
about
creative.
the guests that you're on, the topics you're going to discuss,
Right.
and
Right. Giant crawfish maybe for this one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, as someone who was at the Crawfish King cook-off last year. Now, I was a judge. I can be judgy. I'm a lawyer, but I can be a judge. It was an amazing event. My son actually helped me judge, which was very super cool because he likes comparing things. He likes taking one crawfish and saying this tastes good and this one, but he has like his father, the commitment of making the decision of which one he likes better. That was something we had to work on. So I'm excited. I'm going to be attending. I'm getting my tickets today. After the show gets over, I can't even believe I haven't got my tickets. We may be buying some tickets and doing some promotional giveaways for the Geaux Rouge show.
Yes.
Paula, thank you so much for being in today. Junior achievement is all, and you are always welcome on the Geaux Rouge show. I appreciate you making time on this busy weekend, this busy weekend. Multiple church festivals, Mercy, St. Thomas More, St. Aloysius. We got the Garth Brooks concert, entire stadium. The Garth Brooks. I think we have women's softball this weekend.
Women's softball, men's baseball, and track and field.
Yeah, I'm just
all happening on campus tomorrow.
I'm staying away from campus tomorrow. I'm staying away from downtown. I live in Mid-City, so I'm just a Mid-City guy. Just hanging out there,
doing Mid-City things,
listening to the gunshots and the sirens and the drag racing. I live in that area of Mid-City. So.
Oh, that
Bernard
area.
Terrace. Bernard Terrace.
Oh yeah, you're right there. Y'all in the middle of the fun.
It's peaceful until the gunshots,
Well.
and then it's not peaceful anymore. So that being said, look, we're gonna be winding down to our first break for the Geaux Rouge show. And by the way, if you are listening to the Geaux Rouge show, if you're one of those few people that listen to the show, a kid, and you have a show topic, like if you're Paul and you're like, Franz, you really need to have this person or this organization on, email me at info at GeauxRouge.com, and I promise you, I'll consider putting them on. And most of the time when people send me emails, a good example is the chapeau, the ladies that do the chapeau parties. I had them on because somebody emailed me. So you should email me too. And then also, if you want more information about the Geaux Rouge show, go to www.GeauxRouge.com, www.GeauxRouge.com. Chuck, it's about time to do our first break. Again, this is the Power Weekend. You know, one of my good friends, Melissa Thompson, has often said, Chuck, if you're not having a good time in Baton Rouge, that's on you. There is plenty to do.
That's facts.
I mean, there's plenty to do in Baton Rouge.
Especially this weekend.
This weekend, there's plenty to do. And look, I understand maybe you didn't get the Garth Brooks tickets. They're available now.
There's some for sale.
Yeah, the people are selling them on social media right now, so, look at it. But look, we're going to be taking our first break, Chuck. We got about 30 seconds. Look, by the way, what are you doing this weekend, Chuck? In 30 seconds.
I'm going to the Garth Brooks concert tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. You're going out of spite. We talked about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in the second half of the show. By the way, Wingamania is coming.
Oh, just give us a date for Christ's sake.
No, we got to talk about what goes into making that event. We'll talk about that in the second segment. We're gonna take our first break. This is the Geaux Rouge show with Franz Borkhardt. You've been listening First half, we had Junior Achievement on. Second half, we're going to be talking about healthy habits with our good friend Maria Saia. We will be right back. All right, well, so we're still on YouTube.
Okay.
Paula, thank you. Thank your
Thank
lovely
you so
significant
much.
other, for coming in.
Picture real quick.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
So when I was on
Not for the
WAFB
picture.
today, for WAFB, I didn't even have socks on. I had to go home and put socks on.
Such a rebel.
All right.
I like
You're
I like
good at that.
Dude. It's the second time I got to hang out.
Here, we got it.
Not hanging out with him.
I'll tag you in Facebook.
We need to go to lunch one day.
Sure. I eat a lot of lunch.
And you can
On a
bring
basis.
you can do. You did great.
I had lunch at Cocha today.
So did you.
Cocha.
Music for coming back?
Some Garth Brooks music.
Oh,
Sorry.
perfect.
All in Baton Rouge.
How did it go? Enjoy your week. We're already friends.
If there's anything you need, so if you need anything between now and then, if there's anything I can do to help promote ticket sales, let me know. I will probably buy a couple and do a share this event and get a chance to win. We'll do a drawing and let you do a drawing rather than buy tickets. But
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's exciting. Thank you so much, Franz. You'll
not a
have
problem.
Great one.
You guys.
Good to see you.
All right, edge on over. Edge on over. I'm gonna use.
You're right here.
I'm gonna use the gooder,
Yes, ma'am.
the gooder microphone, the better microphone.
Gooder microphone?
Get on down the road. Oh man.
So we're just gonna flow with this. I don't.
So
really
I'm making a prediction right now. I got you, dude. I wouldn't ever put you in a position where you don't look fantastic.
No, this is to keep my own brain. Following.
I move quickly. My brain is.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I made a prediction today, and I'm saying it not just on national TV. I'm saying it here on the airwaves of the Geaux Rouge channel before we go in the second half. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, they're both going to get zeroed out. I'm calling it right now. Jury's going to say, no, we're not giving you guys anything.
I feel like
I'm predicting it.
Okay.
All right. Is she in the camera scene?
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure. Just making sure.
She is absolutely there.
She really is. 1 second. Whenever you're ready, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm ready. If you are, I'll go back and come back in with the music.
Yes.
Okay.
And just my string. Point at me. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the second half of the Geaux Rouge show. Listening to a little Garth Brooks. This is Garth Brooks' weekend, Garth Brooks concert weekend. Hey, did he write that song, or was that somebody else's song that he just covered? I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure he wrote that one.
I have so many questions for him about why writing a song about Baton Rouge, but I'm very happy that he wrote it. It's one of my favorite songs.
There's a lot of country songs actually about Baton Rouge.
I
Believe
bet
it or not.
oh, I bet there
and
are.
It's all about like meeting up with some woman and like.
That tracks.
Yeah.
It tracks. Well, if you're just now tuning in, this is when the show goes off rails. This
Oh,
is your-
now is when the show goes off.
I was well behaved in the first half. I was well behaved.
Debatable.
So this is your host, Franz Borkart. Chuck P's on Master Controls. Our special guest, co-host Maria Saia, is in studio. This is actually her half of the show. But before we get to all that, let's thank our show sponsors. These are the folks that are making the Geaux Rouge show possible. We have the Borkart Law Firm. That's a criminal defense firm. That's my firm. www.borkartlawfirm.com. La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with your custom made from scratch breakfasts. And last but not least, Dr. G, Dr. Gunjarena, www.drrena.com. She can help you. She can make you faster. She can build you better. Is that what I forget the lines from the $1 Million Man. Anyways, look, I've lost a little poundage. I've lost a few lbs, and I'm going to give her credit. I mean, I take a lot of credit for it myself, but I mean, she gets a lot of credit for it too. She was like steering the boat. I was the one paddling the boat. I was the motor behind the boat. But anyways, Dr. G, www.drrena.com. Look, if you want more information about the Geaux Rouge show, go to www.geauxrouge.com. Man, oh man, we talked about it in the first half of the show, Maria. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We've got fairs. We've got the Mercy Fair. We've got St. Thomas More. Shout out to the other churches that are doing the fairs this weekend, not communicating with each other and doing competitive things. That's great. Sounds great. In the same weekend as the Garth Brooks concert, which, by the way, if you're not going to the Garth Brooks concert, that would be the ideal time to go to one of these fairs.
Absolutely.
Shout out Mercy. Shout out to the Mercy Fair.
It's Mercy Fair weekend.
Mercy Fair weekend. Like the cookie. I don't know why I went Cookie Monster voice.
Oh, you did.
So this half of the show, Chuck, is about habits. Recently, I had a little bit of introspection, and I started thinking about this concept of what it means to be in a healthy relationship with yourself. Now, I have demonstrated in my life the narcissism, arrogance, self-centeredness of being, quote unquote, in love with myself. But that's not necessarily
I'd have never picked that up.
That's not necessarily the same thing, and Maria will confirm this, as being in a healthy relationship with yourself.
Okay.
And to me, that means evaluating your good habits and what else? Your bad habits. Inventorying. What am I doing right? What can I do better? And what do I need to stop doing like yesterday? So
It's a long list.
with me it is. With me it is. So I welcome back in Maria Saia. She was on the show before talking about health coaching. And look, you were in the neighborhood this morning. You were at Talk 107.3 studio on Brian's podcast, which the name of the podcast is
Cool story, bro.
Cool Story, Bro. See, I give shout outs to Brian Haldane when he's not here. He's partying somewhere. He's probably actually doing some volunteer work somewhere.
He is. He definitely is, which is why I'm here.
I'm sorry, Chuck.
It's
Don't
fine.
worry.
It's fine.
It won't last forever. So that being said, I invited Maria because I can't think of a better person to talk about habits, how to maintain good habits, how to sustain good habits, good living. So Maria, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's good to be here twice in one day.
I know. So tell the folks out there who weren't listening to Brian's show, tell the folks out there a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So my name is Maria Saia. I am a health and wellness coach. I've personally lost 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've kept it off now for 7 years, and I've had the privilege to walk several people through this journey, and I also train health coaches as well. So about over 300 health coaches at this point, and I love what I do. I love seeing them really spread their wings to serve other people, and I love seeing clients finally feel accomplished in this big, daunting area called health, right?
So I view a good health coach as someone who helps you become the best iteration version side of yourself, right? And that segues me into habit formation, because part of your coaching has to deal with evaluating good habits, bad habits, right? So you're shaking your head. You got to say
Yes.
You got to say yes out loud.
Okay, I gotta
It's
just jump in.
I'm like in the
with
court.
you.
I'm like in the courtroom, man. I mean, witnesses shake their head, and I'm like, you got to say it out loud. We're keeping a record.
If
Yeah.
you don't say anything, he's just going to keep talking.
Gotcha.
You gotta
God,
say something.
God, that is true. So jump in.
All right. Yes, habit formation is a huge part of what I do. We look at how habits form in the brain. What is your environment contributing to the current habits that you have? Are the current habits in line with what you ultimately want? And it's almost this process of slowing down to speed up. And we look at all these little things that seem totally insignificant, but they're not. So once we break that down and get very, very intentional with everything that's like in your environment and your line of vision, the relationships that you have, the conversations you're having in your own head, stopping, putting a huge magnifying glass on all of those and saying, wait a second, do I want to keep this or do I want to redirect it?
Well, and little pebbles make big ripples, right? So, okay. I will say that in my life, I do what we call inventory work. So I try to take a step back and I try to have a bird's eye view as objective as I may or may not be able to be doing that and say, okay, what am I doing right? What can I improve on? And what am I doing wrong that I need to stop doing? And a good example, Maria, is recently, and we were talking about this before the show started, I had a nasty cigar habit. I'll go on a limb here and say I was addicted to cigars. I am addicted to cigars.
You didn't have a problem.
Yeah, I could stop at any time, but except I couldn't. And I was smoking way too many cigars. And the problem for me is I am in a healthy phase of my life, right? I am more active than I've ever been. I'm more mobile than I've ever been. I am healthier and feel better than I ever have been in my life. But cigar smoking made me makes me, period, present tense, makes me feel bad. It affects my respiration. It affects my joints, my inflammation. And look, I get it. I did it because I associated it with a anxiety relieving habit or ritual, just like eating, comfort eating, just like doing certain things like drinking or drugs or whatever. So, and whereas cigars are not illicit, they're not illegal, I had to stop. I had to put the brakes on. Yeah. So walk me through, you're working with one of your clients, one of your coaches, one of your clients. How do you address changing habits and changing to where they're sustainable change?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll just use you as an example.
Please, use me.
So what happened there is you started taking yourself to a higher level in your nutrition and your activity. Like you said, all these other aspects got lined up. So then it was like, wait a second, this one still feels really off. And it's not giving me the same reward that these other habits that I've aligned are giving me. And so therefore, let's address this one. And I think that's such a brilliant way to do it, because instead of saying, oh, let me jump off the deep end and address everything that I don't love right now, which a lot of people do. They're going to work out every day and they're going to eat all the things and they're going to, do 50 burpees before they get out of bed, whatever.
Burpees.
Right. It's way more efficient and rewarding and more fun to pick one habit at a time, start small, like, for example, one push-up when you get out of bed. Get that win consistently, because your brain is going to be like, yeah, I did that. Okay, let's see what I can do next. Instead of starting with this huge goal and then feeling defeated or deflated. So habit formation, I totally got off track of the question that you actually asked.
How long does it take to make a good habit?
There's a lot of different numbers
right.
out
There's
there.
some research. There's some serious research on this, because what we're talking about is changing neural pathways, the brain, the synapses in our brains on why we make decisions. And by the way, when we're addicted to something that's not necessarily good for us, that addiction will try to survive. It will do things to exist. So let's talk about it. Like so exercise. Let's take something that you talk about on a regular basis.
Yeah.
If someone wants to develop a habit to exercise consistently, how long does it take for that person maybe to get into a rhythm and to make it into a habit that they cannot, it's like brushing their teeth. They cannot live without it.
I think, and this is probably a more extreme answer, closer to 4 to 6 months. Some will say 30 days, some will say 90 days. I think to get to the point where it literally is something you crave, 4 to 6 months. Because you go through a phase, there's several phases, and there's several books on this, Atomic Habits, and
right.
All kinds of stuff. Anyway, you go through the first phase where it's sexy and it's fun and it's like alluring and you're all about it and you're excited.
It's like a new relationship. You're like,
Right.
it's the honeymoon period.
There is nothing, by the way, there is nothing sexy about what's going on with this whole not smoking cigars right now. I'm on day 3. It is not sexy at all. And in fact, if I could chew my fingers off right now, not that I would hurt myself, but it's like, this is not, but the positive addiction of like working out, you get the high, the runner's high, you get all that stuff. It is like a new addiction, especially when you're seeing what? Results.
Well, and to your point too, you mentioned, okay, there was the narcissistic self-love, and then there's
there still is that.
and then there's the getting healthy
Right.
self-love. How do you tell the difference? It's not sexy.
Right.
That's how you tell the difference.
So I've become a firm believer. So I have become a firm believer that, and this is, so remember that time I drove the 24 hours to Sedona? I was in a car and I was listening to a lot of audiobooks, and it just so happened that I had 3 consecutive audiobooks that all dealt with the same thing. One dealt with attachments and gratitude. One dealt with living a life of gratitude, service, and having a healthy relationship with yourself. And then now I'm doing a Brene Brown book that deals with the same thing. And it got to the point where I started asking questions about, okay, what does it mean? At the end of the day, what does it mean to quote unquote have a healthy relationship with yourself? Does it mean doing good things for yourself? Does it mean drinking a certain amount of water because your body needs that? Eating certain foods, not beating yourself up if you eat a slice of king cake because you didn't eat 2 king cakes entirely. What does it mean to be healthy? How do you affirm that healthiness? And so I'm deep diving into all these issues, Maria. And it really set me on this path of, okay, so like, for example, I don't drink enough water. Now I drink way too much diet soda. We talked about this downstairs. I drink way too much Sprite Zero. Sprite Zero is my new crutch. But I also drink a ton of water. And I drink a ton of water because my body needs a ton of water, and my body feels better, and I have a better relationship with everything I do and everyone around me if I'm healthy. I don't eat the same kind of, I mean, I still eat crap, but I don't eat the same kind of crap. And I've seen your social media before where you talk about like not destroying yourself, not beating yourself up if you have a day where you have a slice of pizza. Right.
Yeah.
Now, it means not eating two large pizzas from City Slice, because sometimes I want to eat 2 large pieces from City Slice, Chuck, and those are good pieces.
Don't we all, though?
Dude, those are big pieces of pizza. But yeah, that relationship with that is something I'm really, and look, the outside, and here's where it gets funky for me, and you're going to love this. The outside is easy, right? You lose 100 pounds. You lose 80 pounds. You can see that. Yeah. And people are commenting on that. When you're changing the insides of you, well, people are seeing it, but you don't always see it other than your life journey changes a little bit. Right. So, but I do believe it's all connected. I believe it's connected to the physical, to the emotional, to the spiritual. So,
oh, absolutely.
All right. So 6 months to change the habit.
And I think it does start with boundary setting with ourselves.
All right.
Right. So
what does that mean for you?
For me, boundaries protect. They don't divide.
Okay.
So once I have a clear vision of who I want to be, the amount of energy I want to give into a relationship, a conversation, my work, my kids, I protect that vision by creating boundaries. So every yes is followed by 1,000 no's. Mm-hmm. My biggest mission is this vision that I have set for myself, and therefore my goal is creation. And it's not that I can't have this, I can't have that. It's not that I don't want this or I don't want that. It's just that the greater good is my overall vision. So it's setting those boundaries with myself first, and then obviously with others as well. When we're comfortable setting our boundaries with ourselves, it makes us a little bit more comfortable at setting them with others.
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe that, getting healthy is one of the most admirable acts of self-love.
So Brene Brown, again,
Yes.
That's right, Franz Borchardt quoting Brene Brown. She defines integrity as, do your beliefs align with your actions? If you were to say, hey, how do you believe? What do you think is important? What are your moral and ethical values? Do your actions align with that? So to me, the first question I ask is what I'm doing, whether it's my day job about being a lawyer, is it about what I'm about to put in my body? Is it about something I'm going to do with my son? Is it about whatever? Am I doing something that I would define as filled with integrity? Number one. Number two, the second question is what I'm about to do emotionally honoring my relationship with me? Because at the end of the day, look, I'm going to be in a relationship with me for the rest of me. There's no way around it, right? I'm stuck. Yeah. At the end of the night, I get into bed. Guess who's in bed with me? Me.
Scary.
Yeah. Sometimes Molly the dog, but me. Right? So am I doing something to honor my relation? And it's very important that I phrase it that way, to honor the relationship I have with myself. Am I being caring? Am I being compassionate? Am I beating myself up? Because a lot of times, dude, I don't know about you, Chuck, I can beat myself up. I can be overly critical. We're both in performance-based jobs to where we can overanalyze, hey, I just did this show and I didn't do a great job, or hey, I just did this trial and I didn't do a great job, or I did this Geaux Rouge show and I did all the talking. I didn't let Maria talk. I can overly be critical on me.
You and Brian Haldane.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, dude, sometimes you just got to ease up a little bit.
I don't even think about it. Like if I have a bad show, or like if I'm playing music somewhere and I'm dropping a drumstick or whatever, I've gotten to the point over the years where I don't let it affect me. It's
you don't let it beat you up.
It's out of my control. There's nothing I can do about it. It's happened. Move on.
Right.
Well, and I will say, yeah, Franz, don't we all sometimes need to just put the bat down? Because what I heard you just say is exactly what I think the key is here. When you stop and ask yourself, is this in my best interest? Is this in integrity? You are separating stimulus and response.
Right.
You're no longer just responding out of a habit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had mentioned earlier driving to the cigar shop, like automatically, right? Because it's been instilled in your brain. obviously over
absolutely.
6 months.
Absolutely.
Right.
So another example, real fast. I have a back deck behind my house that I covered and has beautiful lighting, and it's very comfortable. There's some water features, there's comfortable chairs, and the reason I set all that up was it was peaceful to me. And the habit was I would go outside at night and do what? Smoke cigars. And now when I go out there, at first I was like, man, I feel kind of empty. It doesn't feel the same. And so what do I do out there now? I read books.
Yeah.
Or I listen to a podcast, or I just sit and listen to the beautiful sounds of Mid-City, which include gunshots sometimes, or drag racing. But you're right. It's what the draw of the habit, and you got to do something. To me, at least in my life, I have to do something to replace that. So if it's going to the cigar shop, maybe it's going for a walk or a run instead in that empty time, and replacing it with, dare I say the phrase, a positive addiction.
So I had a cousin who he smoked all his life. Ever since he was like 14 years old, always smoked. Decided he was going to quit smoking. And every time he got a craving to go buy a pack of cigarettes, he would take that money and he would put it to the side.
Yeah.
Within a year, he saved enough money to go on a 2-week trip to Singapore.
Isn't that awesome?
So now he does that. He continuously does it every year. Every time, even when he doesn't have the urge to buy a pack of cigarettes, he'll think about it and put that money on the side. And every year he goes overseas somewhere and just travels.
Yeah, you have to have a reward attached to that new behavior because it's stimulus, response, reward. And when it's an unhealthy habit, the reward is that sugar high or that whatever it might be. Instead, what you're doing there is switching that reward to something that is also very positive. And so the brain registers, oh, this new habit is good. It equals good stuff. Let me keep doing it.
So we've got about 2 minutes left. If you're just not tuning in, we got Maria, who's the health coach, joining us, Maria Saia. And by the way, Maria, if people want to connect with you and maybe use you as a health coach or become a health coach, how would they do that?
So Facebook and Instagram are the best way to get in touch with me. I'm Maria Saia, S-A-I-A, on Facebook. And Instagram is Maria, 3_Saia. Very simple.
So I got asked the question yesterday, hey, how can you wrap your brain around this because it was a cigar smoker buddy of mine. He was like, so is this like a forever thing? Or, I mean, how do you wrap your brain around that? And I said, how I would describe this is I'm not going to smoke today and I'm not going to smoke tomorrow thing. And that is the only way I can take a bite out of the elephant. If I try to bite the elephant if I try to eat the elephant all in one bite of, oh my God, I'm never going to smoke a cigar again, and I can't conceptualize that, I'm going to fail. If I just keep it as strict as, okay, just not going to smoke today, and I'm probably not going to smoke a cigar tomorrow, I got a good shot, right? I got a good shot. So we're about out of time, Chuck. We're about out of time. We need to have Maria on. We need to have Maria on more often. Look,
I agree.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping us out. And I tried to talk less. It's a big improvement on me.
You gave it a good shot.
Thanks, Chuck.
You did let Maria speak quite a bit, so I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, it's because Brian's not here. So anyways, look, if you want to get more information about the Geaux Rouge show, go to www.geauxrouge.com. Send us an email if you have a show topic at info@geauxrouge.com. Look, I am not creative, so finding an episode every single week that fills 44 minutes of airtime, it's not always easy. I need help. I need your help. This is me being vulnerable. Another Brene Brown moment. Being vulnerable. I need your help.
There you go.
So we've got about a minute left. Look, here's the thing. I've been talking to my partner in crime, Laura Sue. We are going to do another Wingamania.
You need to make it happen.
I want to do it at either Tin Roof or Perkins Road. We've done events at both places. Tin Roof is generally where we do these events. We are concerned about supply chain because the wings generally used to get donated, and the entire event was a charity event. Generally, we would fight breast cancer with it. But we have made a commitment. Now that things are almost back to normal.
Chicken prices are high.
Well, you know what? We may just get them sponsored. But we are I'm announcing it on air. I'm not going to give you the date yet because we got to lock that in. We're talking fall when the weather's a little cooler. I once threw a mac and cheese event in the summer, and that didn't go over well. So we are going to do Wingamania. I'm going to have Laura on. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Look, we'll be back next week or maybe in the near future. Go enjoy this weekend. Go to a fair. Go to Garth Brooks. This is Franz Borkart. Go Rouge. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome.
Good job, Maria.
Thank you. All right. I'm learning to just jump in, you know.
In your
No, it's not that bad.
YouTube? You want to go ahead and end